Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Good to see everyone. Just wanted to give our thoughts today on what transpired last week, which was UFC Noche, right? Grasso versus Shevchenko. Also wanted to give our picks today for Fiziev versus Gamrot, Mateusz Gamrot, which happens this week, this Saturday. But if we could, if we could talk about what happened last week real quick. Just wanted to give before we get to the co-main event and main event, just wanted to give kind of my thoughts on some of the other standouts, some of the other performances and fights on this card. Really quickly wanted to point out I thought Tracy Cortez did a good job against Jasmine. I thought she had good boxing. It was a good fight. It was good pace, good knees from her. She had a good win. But I'm sure what you really want to get to, and I think was probably the highlight of the night for me was Roman Kopylov versus Josh Fremd.
Yeah, that was probably the highlight, although I am not going to jump on the couple of bandwagon yet. He to me, I look at him and to me, and you can actually see it visually, like he looked a lot smaller than Fremd, right? I think he's a little bit too small for 185. If he's fighting monsters like I don't know, Paulo Costa, right?
Yeah,
Or I don't know, Hamzat and Vittori, right? Those kind of near, then I think he's small for that division. He did pick up his wrestling, which is good, and he trains in Dagestan. And I think after the loss to who did he lose to before that? That was the
he lost to Duraev, and
Duraev, yeah,
he lost to someone else before that.
yeah,
Yeah,
Albert Duraev. So there was a decision loss, but he did okay. But after that, I think he realized that he needed to improve his wrestling, and he's training with Arman.
training in Dagestan, right?
Dagestan, right? So there's a couple of Russian fighters there that he trains with. But to me, he showed that he's hittable too, like especially like jab. It's like he didn't care. He had perhaps he felt Fremd's power and he didn't think any of that, and was willing to absorb it. But I didn't like that. So I don't like that he's small. I don't like that he is hittable, and his wrestling is still not tested. Hasn't been tested since then. So we'll see. But I think he does deserve a a top, anywhere from top 10 to top
Oh,
15.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real quick, if I can add to that, I'm not really sure about the undersized part. While he might not be as thick as Cannonier or one of those guys, I do think he is longer, right, than those guys. So maybe it makes it harder to be as thick, right?
I mean,
Then
officially he's listed at 6 feet.
I think just six
A
feet.
little taller, maybe 6'1". But I don't think he's bigger than that. His
Yeah.
hands are thin. They're long but thin.
My only criticism of him is yes, he does take punches, but I think it's a fight, you're gonna take punches. My only kind of concern is that he likes to lean back a lot, and maybe he can kind of get away with that just because he kind of has a long torso and long arms, but he kind of leans back, and I think
Yeah,
that
he does that. Yeah.
he does take left hooks. And I don't know, every single time he leans back, I'm always reminded of the Chris Weidman versus Anderson Silva, how you knocked him out to left hook. But that's in any case, I guess that's the only kind of criticism I have. Otherwise, I think he's a fantastic boxer, awesome left kicks right to the body, amazing precision, accuracy. So really hope that he continues to work on his wrestling in Dagestan. There were a couple of mistakes he did on the cage, but he got an awesome highlight reel knockout in the second round. I mean, what more can you ask from the guy? I think there's a lot more, in store for him for sure, right?
Yeah, yeah. Just to getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here, we will be making a separate video or where we'll be taking a deeper dive at each UFC division, and perhaps we'll do a breakdown of Fighters Day and possible matchups there.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, he is again for sure. He needs top 15 opponent. But let's move on. Just wanted to quickly mention, I thought Lupita Godinez did extremely well against Elias Street and just completely ran over her. Domination, the way she was picking her up and slamming her. She probably deserves a ranked matchup. Daniel Zellhuber, good anaconda choke over Christos Giagos. Christos Giagos actually not a bad guy. I mean, he's pretty strong, pretty thick.
He is powerful. Yeah, he's powerful, but he is iffy, right? He wins one, he loses two, he wins two, he loses one.
Yeah, he's
never very... like the win against Rick Glenn, I think was amazing, right? But then he comes and like, I don't know, but he did rock Daniel Zellhuber.
He did.
Yeah, he had him hurt. I mean, Daniel, good for him. He persevered.
Yeah, for sure. And he could also, cause some rumblings in the division. I don't think some people are like really on the bandwagon with him, but
no, not yet.
I'm not there yet, and
he's hittable in my opinion. He's very hittable, and I don't like.
But I do think he is the kind of new wave of 155ers, and what I mean by that is that the long, tall.
Yeah, he's big. He's big again.
He's big. I mean,
look at the top players, right, in that division. Islam, right, really gets hit, right? We don't see him get hit. We'll look at I don't know. Look at anybody in the top three, right? Top five. Then how many of them have that type of style where they just can be rocked 3-4 times during a fight?
I mean,
you fight against if you're fighting against let's say somebody like Justin, right? So that's gonna be lights out, right? I don't think Justin will give you 2 chances.
No way. Yeah, he's a killer for sure. But yeah, we'll see where he goes from there. Let's move on real quick to Raul Rosas Jr. versus Terrence Mitchell. I bet that this fight was going to reach the second round. I mean, I was completely wrong. Raul Rosas Jr. just completely annihilated him. Mitchell in the first minute. I don't know what Mitchell. I don't really know what happened. They just kind of like. I don't really know if it slugged it out or what the right word is, but I mean, Raul Rosas Jr.
There was no
awesome. That punch was bad. Like stiffened him up before he even hit the ground, and it was over in the first minute. So
both came to bang, which is what we like, right? There was no feeling each other out, no like trying to outplay each other. Was just and Raul, I was surprised. I mean, I was actually, I don't know if you noticed, Raul looked bigger and stronger. Like
the back was
physically, right? Well, like you can tell the guy is maturing as a man, and is just getting mid strength. So this definitely going to be, give him a couple of more years because he's not at his peak. He has maybe 7-8 years before he gets to his peak.
Yeah.
So this guy is going to be, I think, something.
Yeah. It's good to see that he came back strong after his last loss. I thought maybe he might be a little more reserved because if you remember the last fight, he was winning the first round, but he kind of just ran out of steam. So I thought maybe he'd kind of like what you said, maybe there'd be kind of a feeling out process, but no, none of that.
Yeah, I mean, I did bet on Raul to win. I just didn't think that would be that quick of a fight because Terrence Mitchell, I think his last fight he fought with Simon, right? The guy from
South America, South African guy.
Yeah, South African guy, Simon. I think that fight he lost, but I think that fight lasted longer, maybe 4 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
But I think that lasted longer, but Raul finished him quickly, so that's good.
Yeah. Definitely has power, got bigger. I think taking his training a lot more seriously. But let's move on now. Let's go to the co-main event. This was Jack Della Maddalena versus Kevin Holland. I thought it was no
disappointing. Fight. I mean, talking about the guys who, from the Raul Rosas and Terrence Mitchell, the guys who came to bang, I don't know what these guys came to do. And I've seen people say something like, oh, there was a good chess match. It was a good chess match between, I mean, yeah, we didn't come to watch chess matches. We MMA fans. I mean, there was no chat. I mean, to me, the guys were not willing to bang. I don't know what Kevin Holland was doing with his short jabs. He was trying to keep the distance. He definitely didn't want that smoke.
I think this fight was more on Kevin Holland's fault. It didn't look like he was there to fight, in my
Yeah, that's
opinion,
what I'm. That yeah,
because
yeah.
I thought Jack Dell, does what he always does, has good pressure, good boxing, mixes it up to the body well. He did have a couple of leg kicks, which he stopped doing. I don't know why. It looked like they were landing, but Kevin Holland, yeah, like you said, some of I don't know if you noticed, but some of his strikes actually were open palm. Like he was kind of smacking Jack. He was turning his back. So it didn't really look like Kevin was there. I thought he lost every round. I don't know how this was a split decision. I thought he lost every round pretty clearly. So either I'm just way off,
Yeah,
or
there were a lot of like funky decisions there, like
I
funky
thought I
balls,
thought
right? Yeah.
yeah, I thought Kevin hit Jack with nothing. Like I didn't see anything land against Jack. Really, maybe it's something small, but I don't know what Kevin was doing. He kind of looked surprised after the split decision loss. I don't really know what else is there to say. I mean,
Disappointing. I mean, they're disappointed. I mean, I don't think I want to see
I
Kevin
think I
fight again.
think
I honestly, I mean, I like the guy. I was cheering for him, but I didn't really enjoy that fight at all. I didn't enjoy that chess match. I didn't. I don't.
yeah.
I don't come to watch chess matches.
Yeah, but that being said, I am pretty high on Jack. To be honest, I do think he's gonna be top five soon. Isn't he already like top nine, right, or
I
top
think
10
I took
after this?
six. I think they were either he was what, eight, I think, or something like that.
I don't
Six.
remember. No, he can't be
I don't
eight,
remember.
right? But in any case, I do think Jack is on his way to being top five. Kevin Holland should never ask for another striker because he was complaining before. Oh, I only want strikers. I don't want wrestlers. Stephen Thompson put him away. Jack Della, in my opinion, just easily outstruck him. Ponzinibbio gave him a hard time. So I don't really know what Kevin is talking about. He keeps talking about striker. But let's move on. I think from that, and let's go to the main event real quick. Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko.
Pretty good event. I mean, I would.
Awesome,
That's just
awesome. Yeah,
yeah,
probably one
yeah.
of the one. Sorry, but real quick, just so to say, I thought this is probably one of the best flyweight matches. One of the best woman matches for sure. Like very. The striking was awesome. There was a knockdown, multiple transitions, takedowns. I thought this was what the true embodiment of what MMA stands for, right? This just uh all skills being shown, elbows, knees. But we got to talk about the draw, right? The 10-8 at round five.
Yeah. There were 10-8. Obviously is a crazy call. I mean, the worst thing here is that it came from Michael Bell, right? Because the judge was not known for stupid decisions.
Yeah.
He's not Sal D'Amato. He's not Ron McCarthy, right? I mean, and Ron McCarthy. I'm going to keep saying that name. Um, who is, I think, on the way to become the worst judge ever.
Yeah.
But he's not them. I mean, he's not known for that. I mean, I keep track of these the scoring, and that's unlike him. But he caused a bit of a ruckus, I know, and now I believe the Nevada Athletic Commission, they are having some sort of a training for 10-8, and
Yeah, they're like doing a whole seminar now.
yeah, which is rightfully so. And but the worst thing, there's still no accountability.
Yeah.
There should be some sort of accountability. Maybe you stop being a judge for 3 months or 6 months. Maybe there has to be some sort of repercussion. There is no, you got these dinosaurs that are judging the fights, fight after fight, without destroying careers. When else is Valentina going to get a chance? When else? Look, think about this. Like, she is 35, and for all those naysayers who say, "Oh, she is awful," she didn't have signs. She had no signs of it's just basically no ammunition for people to say that. She showed an excellent fight. She put in a lot of training, and you basically destroying careers. There has to be repercussions for that.
For sure.
There's I can't believe there's still no any sort of accountability for making a bad call. I make a mistake with my employee, I get written up. I make another mistake, I'm fired.
Yeah.
There's, and seems like there's anybody can come up with any score,
But
and there's no.
I think even if there is accountability, the problem is it doesn't change the result, right? I mean, Valentina still doesn't get her half, right? The win money, she still doesn't get the championship. So they got to figure something out for sure. I mean, I don't know if they can go back and overturn that. That's probably not going to happen, right? But
No,
it's really unfortunate because I do think Valentina won the fight. I do think she's the better fighter. I do think that, you know, I think that round also, I just don't get how it's a 10-8 because she was winning like 4 minutes of that round, right? I mean, do you remember those jabs that she was landing on Alexa? I mean, it was tearing
Yeah,
her face up. And if anything, if you know what, I wouldn't even give that round to Alexa, to be honest, even though she took the back at the end. I would be more glad with like a 9-9 for that round, to be honest, because
you could give to her. You can
that's a
argue.
really hard round to score, but not a 10-8.
No, definitely not a 10-8. Definitely not a. I mean, you can give it to Alessa because um
Because of the threat of the submission and
because of the threat of a submission, right?
I
She had
understand, yeah.
right. So the submissions were there, and but
Yeah, but it's really unfortunate, right? Because if that wasn't I feel like that 10-8 kind of took away from what the fighters actually did that night, right? They put on a great fight, uh, and the rest of the card was also great, but people just keep talking about that 10-8, which is good because now again they're having seminars and all that. So we'll see what happens with that.
but until there is accountability, until the judges get thrown out, it's really. I mean, and I mean it. They need to
Yeah.
be thrown out.
I mean, one suggestion I heard was like that fighters maybe should be in the judging spot, like maybe retired fighters, like you know, I don't know. I'm just throwing out random names out. You know, people who know how to score fights, people who've been hit, people who've had their back taken. Just throw out any retired fighter. I don't know if that's a good um
I
suggestion.
think it's better, but
I think it's better. Yeah,
it's better, but still you need accountability. You make a
100%.
mistake, there has to be accountability.
Yeah.
And a blatant mistake like that, egregious.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that was our I guess review or whatever you want to call it, right? For the UFC Noche, Valentina Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso. Let's move on real quick to UFC Fight Night Fiziev versus Gamrot, which again takes place in the Apex this week. Not a super stacked card, but some really interesting matchups. Before we get to the main event, let's just point out a couple of guys. Mohammed Usman is fighting. Kamal Usman's is it older brother, right? He's fighting against Jay Collier. Uh, I saw that the odds I think were really close. I think Mohammed Usman might put Collier away, to be honest. I don't know what you think about that one. I thought the Jacob Malkoun versus Cody Brundage. I have Jacob Malkoun for this one. Um,
Yeah,
I'm kind of rushing forward.
yeah, I agree with you here.
Tim Means versus Andre Fialho. This is a kind of a scary one, just because Fialho sometimes looks awesome, and then other times he's just I don't know what he's doing.
Well, he lost
But
what, three in a row now, right? So
let
this
me
might, if he
let me
loses this
check real
one,
quick.
he's probably could be out of the UFC.
This should be 3-0. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and they're all by knockout too. They're
Yeah,
all
last
by
one I
knockout.
think Muslim Salikov, right? Or was it? Did he lose to somebody else after that?
He lost to Buckley. Remember, Buckley recently had kicked
Oh
him.
yeah, yeah. Barkley when he went to 170, when he dropped to 170, right? So Salikov was before that. Yeah,
Yeah, but Tim Means, I mean, he's also on a three fight loss streak.
yeah, yeah.
But
Basically elimination
yeah,
contract.
exactly. It almost feels like whoever loses is out. I think Fialho should take it just because he's a little younger. I think he has some,
He has more power in his
more
hand.
power, but not that Tim Means. I don't remember the last time Tim Means had been put away. I mean, his nickname the Dirty Bird for a reason, right? He's very
He's durable. That's true.
pretty durable. He's always bloody and he can take big shots. I'm very 50-50, but I have to lean towards Fialho. I don't know what you think about this one.
I would lean towards Falco, and maybe because I'm biased a little bit, I like him. I like
Yeah,
his
good
power,
guy.
but Yeah, there is a lot of tough matchups here in this actually card. Like even the main event, right? I mean, I'm not even sure if I'll be taking any bets,
Well,
honestly.
we'll get to that in a second. Also wanted to point out Charles Jourdain is fighting Ricardo Ramos. I like Charles Jourdain a lot. I think he should win. But again, sometimes he's very on and off. Sometimes he can be a little slow. Sometimes he can miss his punches sometimes. But he's always pretty entertaining. I think he should win. Brian Battle versus AJ Fletcher. If you remember Brian Battle, I believe he was the Ultimate Fighter winner, right? He had that head kick knockout. He recently knocked out that guy Gabe Green in like whatever it was. Like, remember they just came out, slugged it out, and he put him away in like 20, 30
Yeah,
seconds. He's a fun
it's going to
guy.
be a good. I mean, it's going to be a good fight for sure.
It's a good card, but it's just not a lot of known names. It's a sneaky one.
Yeah.
Marina Rodriguez. Sorry, what were we gonna say?
Oh no, no, yeah, not enough big names. Maybe for just the main event and the co-main event, and
Yeah,
pretty much it.
but Marina Rodriguez versus Michelle Waterson. I think Rodriguez is gonna smoke her. To be honest, I think Waterson always comes out, does the same thing. She circles. She doesn't throw punches. She throws a
And
side kick.
I,
She throws a side kicks.
yeah,
And I know she has a lot of losses by split decision. Um, but she is durable. But I think Marina should even be able to put her weight. To be honest, I think she might. She has a chance. Marina hits hard. She's good. She has good ground skills. I know she is on a 2-loss streak, right? She is, yeah, Amanda Lemos, but still not enough from Waterson for me to think that she's gonna win, beat Marina Rodriguez. Um, yeah, so let's move on real quick to the co-main event: Bryce Mitchell versus Dan Ige, number 12 versus number 13. I think this is an incredibly close matchup. I know Bryce Mitchell is the favorite, right on the odds, but close, very close to me.
right. Considering Bryce Mitchell's last performance against Tapuria, and again, he said he was sick. He should have taken the fight. Putting that aside, it was an awful performance. I think what Dan Ige has against Bryce outweighs what Bryce has against Dan Ige. So Bryce has grappling, which I'm sure. I mean, Dan Ige is not a bad grappler. Actually, he has good wrestling. He was, I think, like Division III wrestler. So which should be enough to neutralize Bryce's grappling, in my opinion. Does Bryce have an answer for Dan Ige's stand up? I don't think so. I mean, if I had to go with, again, I probably won't take the bet, but if I had free money and I to bet on somebody, I'll bet on Dan Ige on this one.
I actually agree with you. I think I know Bryce Mitchell. Everyone's picking Bryce Mitchell, and he's the favorite on the odds. The problem I have is that I think so. Bryce Mitchell is not a wrestler. Like, for example, Ivloev, right? Dan Ige's lost to Ivloev, where Ivloev just kind of throwing him around for 3 rounds. I don't think Bryce Mitchell is like an Ivloev. However, I know Dan Ige also lost to Korean Zombie, if you remember, where he kind of also was arrested for 3 rounds, which kind of also was it 3 rounds or a main event? I forget, but he also didn't look so good. But I think that the power from Dan Ige is enough to make up for that discrepancy. I think if Bryce Mitchell eats a couple of those uppercuts, a couple of those hooks, right? I mean, look at the hook that put away Damon Jackson, right? Look at he has power. That's why his nickname 50K Ige, because he's just knocking guys out. Um, I
Yeah.
think power should be enough to.
The problem with Dan Ige is that he's not consistent, right? He
He's
can
not
come.
consistent as well. Yeah.
They're just not consistent. That's his own. I mean, that's a flip of a coin. But again, neither is Bryce Mitchell.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, he's 15-1, right? So there's
Two.
some consistency there besides the Tapuria loss, which, yeah, again, he looked horrible. Tapuria completely just broke him down, threw him around. Remember at one point he had like those double underhooks and just threw Mitchell. And I don't think Dan Ige is going to be doing things like that, but I do think there's going to be a lot of uppercuts from Dan Ige, a lot of hooks to maybe deter Bryce Mitchell from shooting. And I think if Bryce Mitchell does shoot, I think Ige will catch him. So if Bryce Mitchell wins, I would not be surprised at all. But close fight. But yeah, not betting on this one for sure. And probably another fight I would not bet on is the main event, which is Fiziev versus Gamrot. I was actually surprised to see Fiziev was the favorite just because I thought, we've seen Fiziev kind of gas out in the third, fourth, fifth rounds, and we know Gamrot has a insane
gas tank,
wrestling and gas tank. Even when he's dropped, right? He's dropped
with
Gets
Sarukian.
dropped badly, gets Jalen Turner, shoots in right for a takedown, gets dropped by Arman Sarukian, boom, like takedown right away. Nothing, no, not even like a hesitation, right? He just keeps going and going. That makes it really hard.
Even the nastiest body kicks from Sarukian didn't slow him down. Right? Remember, I don't know how many Sarukian had, maybe 10. I don't remember, like something like that.
Remember the sound of those?
Oh, geez. But he kept coming.
Yeah.
I don't want to again say that he was gifted that win.
Oh, for sure.
Sarukian won the fight. I do want to say probably the fight with Jalen was also gifted to him. But it is what it is now. So to me, in my book, he's not 22-2. In my book, he's 20-4. But who cares now? Right? They're both excellent fighters, but one thing we can definitely say, it's going to be a great fight. I think Fiziev, it doesn't come. He doesn't joke around, right? Fiziev comes to fight, Gamrot comes to fight. This is not going to be a chess match that we can guarantee now for those two guys. So I'm super pumped, super excited. And again, I mean, if I had to bet on this one, I'd probably bet on Gamrot. If you can get a free bet, I'd bet on Gamrot. I wouldn't probably go with Fiziev. Again, Fiziev, I don't think he's faced a type of caliber fighter like Gamrot in terms of wrestling, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he did well against
RDA,
right? That was good, but Gamrot is the type of fighter is just gonna exhaust you towards the end, right?
So yeah, the way I see this fight going in my head, real quick, if you don't mind, I see this Fiziev probably gonna win I think he might win the first 3 rounds, with the third round being very close. So I see Fiziev landing good leg kicks, good body kicks, sneaky hooks here and there in the first 2 rounds. And then I think we might see Gamrot kind of starting to have more success with the takedowns, kind of like in the RDA fight, where if you remember, Fiziev was doing well against the takedowns, but then in the third, fourth, RDA was landing them. But he was getting up well. But in any case, I think that this might be one of those split decisions where the Fiziev wins the first 2, Gamrot wins the last 2, and the third one just somewhere up in the air. I think it's
a possible scenario, very much possible. Yeah.
The only thing that concerns me also, Gamrot, is he does get hurt, right? He does pop up right away and keeps going, but think about this. Jalen Turner, he gets hurt. Gamrot, hurt. Not Gamrot, sorry.
Jalen Turner.
Jalen Turner. Dariush. Sarukian, spinning back fist. Guram hit him with some good shots. I think Fiziev is probably the hardest hitter of all those guys. So Fiziev hits you with that left hook he hit Renato Moicano with, the left hook he hit RDA with, the spinning kick against Della. Gamrot's probably going to, I don't think he's going to get up and just shoot for a takedown like he always does. I think that could put him away. That's what concerns me for Gamrot. And he's not that big. He's not that big for the lightweight division. So,
if there's anything Fiziev learned, you should probably, rewatch some of his fights, right? Like the fight with Sarukian was where he was getting clobbered with low
body kicks, right?
Body kicks. There were a couple moments with the Jalen Turner, like you could recycle some of the stuff there, but he's very creative. Fiziev is very, very creative when it comes to striking. Like he said himself, like he's his own enemy, and he gets
Yeah, the fans kind of like get
Yeah, like real rile him up, and he gets crazy, and this is the fight where you cannot be like, you have to manage the distance control very well here, because
yeah.
he is able, was one of the few guys who can cut, like cover a lot of distance, right? Gamrot. I can't think of anybody else
Yeah.
who can do these type
Oh yeah.
of I think he's unique in that sense in the
And
entire UFC.
he can cross like half the mat, like in a
Yeah,
half a
I
second.
think he, like what he does. I mean, I haven't seen that. Like Hamzat does kind of like something, but Hamzat is not an ankle pick. Hamzat goes for the body, right? He goes for the body locks, and but Gamrot's takedowns are unique in a sense. She shoots from the far, and he ankle pick. He changed them well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm super pumped. I can't wait, man. I cannot wait to
Yeah.
see that fight.
Yeah. If you guys want to bet on this fight, don't bet on this main event. But in all seriousness,
You can get free money.
yeah, I probably have
If you
Fiziev.
bet.
Yeah, if you have free money, throw around. I personally would bet on Fiziev, but I mean, in any case, should be an awesome fight. Co-main event should be fun, right? Dan Ige versus Bryce Mitchell. And yeah, those are our picks, guys, for UFC Fiziev versus Gamrot. Um, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it.
All right.
All right, until next time.